All right, so often one of the things that comes with business and running a business, or anytime you're dealing with any type of consumer, is the obvious, the inevitable. Complaints, unsatisfactory performance or service or goods rendered. So today you're going to actually see how we actually deal with unhappy customers. You always want to do your best to provide a quality service, but you want to make sure you're finding that happy balance and medium between providing an exceptional service and being exploited. So let's see how it goes. Hello, good morning. Is this Miss Linda?
It is.
Hey, Miss Linda, how you doing this morning? This is Wayne from Stand Fast.
Hey, Wayne.
How's it going? It's my understanding that you're not so happy with us.
Absolutely not.
Yes, I called this morning to try to see if we could kind of get some clarity or some understanding on each side.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what I know is
Okay.
that we've had several times where I've had to call back and say the work was substandard, and they've come out to fix it or what have you. Apparently, the other day, your guys came, or your people came out towards the end of the day. My staff leaves. Well, they have a meeting at 5, and then leave at 5:30. So I guess they asked her to sign, and I don't know how that happened, that she didn't get a chance to walk it, but I walked it yesterday, and it was in poor condition. It just had, you could see dirt on the floor. You could literally, they obviously didn't sweep the unit. Grease was down the side of the stove and different things like that. So we requested that they come out and, touch it back up. And Laura sent us an unpleasant note saying that we would be charged $60 because we signed this form. And, I understand that you have procedures, but I think she should understand that we have been working with you guys as far as substandard work already. And so she knows that the teams don't. I can tell you which teams work good and which teams don't. But, so I don't have time to go back and forth with a company if they're not going to do the work. I mean, I'm good with it if you guys were doing the work right. I have no problem with being charged something that is our error.
Okay.
But someone needs to, do quality control for you guys.
Okay. So Miss Linda, I'm not aware of the conversation between you and Laura. Laura's just following guidelines and policies that were set in place. So I understand that you had some pretty rough experience with cleaning companies. And first, I just want to acknowledge your frustration and say, I apologize. But we also have experienced similar hardships on the other end. And we have several measures in place for quality control. So kind of give you some insight. The cleaners are cleaning about 15 to 20 units a day. And with that, I understand that sometimes, fatigue sets in, and then we get sometimes things get missed. So we have the crew leader looks, and then we have the field leader looks, and then we get the whoever it is on site to walk the unit as well. We wasn't aware that there was a 5 o'clock meeting or what have you. When they contacted Miss Jenny, she didn't say that she had a meeting. She just stated that she didn't feel like walking the unit. Now that's not quote, but that's pretty much what it allude to. And we the reason why we started the forums is to kind of give the communities that opportunity to give their on the spot their feedback. The reason why Laura said that, because the form that she signed, I don't know if you've seen the form, but it says, I verified that all the areas are clean to my satisfaction. And
Right.
She signed and she prints. And then so when cleaners have to go back out, they're reprimanded. They get strikes on their performance evaluations and stuff like that. And sometimes they even get docked pay. So it's kind of hard for us to reprimand the cleaners on our end when they did everything that they were supposed to do.
Yeah, Yep, I get it. I completely understand, and that's your policy. I completely understand. It just doesn't fit into with what I want on my property. So I appreciate your call this morning, but it's not going to work for me because not every time will I have the opportunity to go out and walk every unit.
Yes, ma'am.
When your people are done.
Yes, ma'am. And I get it.
So I need.
We have a 7-day policy. We have a 7-day policy. So you have up to 7 days to walk the unit. So like if she didn't have time, all she had to do is said, I'll look at it later, or could you come back later? That's completely fine. But that's what I'm saying. That's not what she did. And we sent out several correspondence trying to be transparent about it, trying to be transparent about the policy. But a lot of the property managers, they either disregard or put us kind of on the back burner. And but we told, like, you have up to 7 days. It's like it doesn't have to happen right then, but we put that information out and that guidance out as well. And if you want, I can resend you the email where we put that guidance out as well, that they have up to 7 days. And then we're just trying to get the communities to be proactive and about because usually what happens is that if they have a resident that comes in, moves in, and they're unhappy, the first thing that they do is they throw the cleaning company under the bus. So we're just trying to get whoever the maintenance coordinators is to kind of take responsibility of their units. Some of the units aren't the best working conditions, we went out and purchased special equipment. Sometimes the units that we're cleaning it over on your properties, they're filled with gas and fumes. Sometimes they're roach infested and stuff like that. But we went through great lengths to be able to accommodate your properties and stuff like that. And I was just finding it a bit alarming because we asked for a little assistance and trying to make sure that you're satisfied, because nobody has walked through it yet and say, like, these are the things that we're looking for. And I understand.
So you say that there were fumes. We had your company canceled their appointment to come out and clean before we were supposed to have someone come and do the tub.
Yes, ma'am.
To reglaze the tub. They said that they couldn't make it, so our reglaze ended up it was scheduled for after you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
You guys couldn't make it in the time that you were supposed to.
Yes, ma'am.
So then so the reglaze went on, and then they refused to clean it because of the fumes. So I told Laura, I said, it's going to smell in there. And she said, I know. And they get there and they said they couldn't do it. So
yes,
we
ma'am.
accommodated you guys at that point for that. Said, okay, don't worry about it. Come back the next day or what have you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I think there has been some give and take, and you may not be aware of all of what has happened.
I could be unaware. I was out several weeks, but I got a little glimpse of that. Those cleaners aren't with us no more because we were falling short on. They dropped the ball often on getting things done, and I think that you communicated your frustration on that, and that was the result of that. So that particular crew is not here anymore. And I'm just calling to let you know that when you voice concerns, we do address them, and I do look into them. I don't know if you have my phone. I don't know if you have my number directly, but if there's, like I said, most of the time we're getting it through third parties and stuff anyway. I'm not getting it directly from the source, so most of the time people are just following policies and stuff like that. But like I said, only thing I can do is we're trying our best to accommodate you guys, and
I know, and I totally get it. I understand. I am a person who has managed buildings up to 2,500 units. So the last thing I need is a back and forth with a vendor.
Yes, ma'am.
We went ahead with Sandfest because we thought, hey, this is going to be great. We're going to have a great relationship, and I am willing to work to a degree, but then after a while, it becomes too much work for me.
Yes, ma'am.
And so,
what are some of your pain points? What is your biggest pain points? I think that's the disconnect. What is it?
I think the biggest pain point for me is that the cleaning is just not very good.
Okay.
You have one team, and I apologize, I don't know their name, that is really pretty good.
Can you describe?
And I actually, you could probably go back and look. When they first came out, I asked them to come back and clean up fans. But other than that, that team cleans really good. It's two Caucasian ladies.
Okay.
And they clean really good. One's a younger one, or she appears younger.
Okay.
They clean really good. Most
Okay.
everybody else, we haven't had great results with. So
what is the biggest thing that they're missing? What is the biggest thing that they're missing? Is it like all over the place, or is there one thing consistently they're not getting?
So let's just look at the department that I walked yesterday. There was clear debris on the ground in every room. They clearly did not sweep the floor. And then there's always visible grease going down the side of the stove, because our stove, one butts up against the cabinet. The other side is out towards where the dining table would sit. So
Yes, ma'am.
clearly you would want to have that cleaned.
Yes, ma'am.
I have gone in and the drawers have not been, like in the kitchen, hasn't been vacuumed out.
Yes, ma'am.
Or cleaned out, how you just have a little, after people take their stuff out, there's debris in the drawers.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't do that. All that kind of stuff is not being done.
Okay.
They don't wipe down the cabinets very well, and I get it that there could be grease on the cabinets that they can't get out,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I understand that. But there's a level of when you say this wasn't even done,
Yes, ma'am.
So those are some of the things that are irritating to me.
Okay.
And haven't been done very well. So if I am going to not get good service, and then when I tell you about it,
Yes, ma'am.
and then I'm going to be charged another $60, I don't mind if you're a new. I don't know how long you've been in business, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't mind if you're a fairly new company giving you direct and honest feedback to improve your processes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But I also don't want to be punished for,
Yes, ma'am.
for
What-
your lack of.
Miss Linda, do you guys have what is the best time of day to arrive to? Because we have some as long as it's done before the end of the day. So would it be ideal to come?
It wouldn't matter to me. I tell you what. Here's one thing that I'll say that I wasn't aware of, and you may have sent it to me, but I honestly have been working in properties in other states.
Yes, ma'am.
Is about the 7-day walk, and Jenna should have understood that because she actually is the one. She's my assistant that pretty much runs that property.
Yes, ma'am.
So she may not have known about that, and that she had 7 days to walk it, and she shouldn't have signed that form. So I'll admit that that was our error. But so anytime, if you're wanting us to physically walk it before they leave, which I'm understanding that you're not,
Yeah.
then you would want to be on site and done before about 4:45.
Before
If
4:45.
that's not a problem for you, and we do have the 7 days, then there's no, long as you're here to get keys and everything and the property open before 5 o'clock, we're good with that too.
Okay, awesome. All right, Miss Linda. The first time I talked to you was such a pleasant experience. You was such a lovely lady, and I think you thought I was a lovely person. So what is it that we have to do to make this right? Would it be to come back and clean the unit?
Let me go talk to my team, because they were basically saying that's enough. So
Yeah.
let me talk with them and see what's going on and see how they feel about it, and then
Yeah.
I'll get back to you. What's your phone number?
My phone number is, and
Okay.
like I said, Miss Linda, we have policies, and everybody they're just doing their job. So that's why I called you personally, and when I leave and I go out of town and stuff like that, those are the guidelines that I leave and stuff like that, because we do have some property managers try to exploit us and exploit those policies, and and they just sometimes they try to use us like as a maid service when they have an unhappy tenant and they want us to come there weekly and stuff like that to keep constantly fixing things.
Well, I can tell you that by the time somebody moves into my apartment, my team has walked it. You will never get a call from my team telling you to go clean something after someone moved in.
Yes, ma'am.
Not unless we're going to pay for it, because by that time we should have had quality control on that. My team should have walked it, and my team should have told you prior to move in or anything like that. That's not something we would do.
Okay. All right. So this is
my team walked it before anybody moved into an apartment. We walk it. If we feel it needs to be cleaned again, whether it's our fault, whether it's set too long, whatever the problem is, if it's something that we need to get done, then we will have that done before they move in. Secondarily, I don't think that after 7 days, if my team hasn't walked it, that's their problem, and they should pay you for coming back out.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. And like I said, like the cleaners, like we stressed on them to get those form signs and stuff like that. But they're all aware of the policy, and I just don't, and it sounds like she just signed off on the unit without verifying it. And then when I'm not in the office, the only thing I have to go off is the policies that we have in place. That's
right.
That's the only thing that Laura has to go off on. So that that's where.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
that's,
I will definitely chat with Jenna and see, because if she said anything to the effect that she didn't want to walk it, didn't feel like walking it, we got a problem.
Yes.
So I will. Let me see what's going on. We have already talked to another cleaning company, but let me check with the girls and see, especially with Yolanda, because I think you're going out to too as well, right?
We've been to, I think once, I think.
Oh.
I think.
Okay.
And then
yeah. She should have been using you guys for cleaning, but I will find out what's going on there, and I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Miss Linda, and you have a wonderful day, and then we look forward to hearing from you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
All right, guys, and you have it. I took some notes on her feedback, but what do you think? You think that we found common ground? Do you think she's gonna continue to use us, or is she done? Let me know in the comments below if you're running a business and you had similar experiences. What did you do? How did you handle it? How did it? What was the end result? But yeah. And also let me know what you think. You think she'll come back?